I'd like to start by asking you to think back to a quiet moment you've had with a horse. Maybe it was in the early morning when the world is still and it's just the two of you in the pasture. There's no pressure, no agenda. It's just the simple act of being together. In those moments when you're fully present, something special happens. Have you felt that? You feel connected, not just to the horse, but to yourself and the world around you. This is the essence of mindfulness. Today we're going to explore how mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, can transform your relationship with your horse and bring a sense of peace and fulfillment into your life. In the world of autonomous horsemanship, as I practice it, we move away from traditional training and performance-based approaches. Instead, we focus on building a relationship with our horses based on presence, trust, and mutual respect. Horses, by their very nature, live in the present moment. For the most part, they're not worrying about the past or stressing about the future. They simply exist in the now. And when we align ourselves with this way of being, we can tap into a deeper connection with them. It's not about getting the horse to do something or mastering a technique. It's about learning to be with the horse fully and completely. In this video, I'll share some practical ways to practice mindfulness with your horse. We'll talk about the benefits this brings to both the horse and the human, and how these lessons can enrich your life far beyond the pasture. By the end, I hope you'll see how mindfulness not only deepens your bond with your horse, but can also lead to greater inner peace and fulfillment in your daily life. Before we delve into how mindfulness can enhance your relationship with your horse, let's take a moment to understand what mindfulness is. At its core, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, aware of what's happening around you and within you, without judgment or distraction. It's about letting go of the constant mental chatter, the worries about the past, the anxieties about the future, and just being and accepting where you are right now. In our fast-paced lives, mindfulness has become a valuable tool for reducing stress, improving focus, and fostering emotional well-being. It's practiced in many forms, from meditation to mindful walking. But the underlying principle is always the same: to be fully engaged with and in the present moment. When we bring mindfulness into our interactions with horses, we create the space for a deeper, more connected relationship, one that's based on presence rather than control. Why is mindfulness so important in our interactions with horses? First and foremost, horses are naturally mindful creatures. They don't spend much time dwelling on what happened yesterday or worrying about what might happen tomorrow. They're attuned to their surroundings, living in the present moment. This is part of what makes them such sensitive and intuitive beings. They pick up on subtle changes in their environment. And importantly, they pick up on changes in us. When you approach a horse, they can sense your energy, your emotional state, and whether or not you're truly present. If you're distracted, anxious, or thinking about something else, they'll know. And often, they'll respond to that energy by becoming unsettled, disconnected, or even resistant. On the other hand, when you approach them with a calm, mindful presence, they feel safer, more relaxed, and more willing to engage with you. Mindfulness allows us to bridge the gap between human and horse. It helps us slow down, quiet our minds and tune into our horse's needs and emotions. Instead of focusing on what we want the horse to do, mindfulness teaches us to observe and listen to what the horse is communicating. This shift in perspective can completely transform the relationship. It's no longer about achieving results or ticking off a checklist of tasks. Instead, it becomes about creating a space where both horse and human can simply be together, free from expectations or pressure. In daily life, mindfulness helps us become more aware of our own thoughts and feelings, making it easier to manage stress, stay calm, and respond thoughtfully to challenges. When we practice mindfulness with our horses, these same benefits come into play. We become more patient, more empathetic, and more attuned to our horse's subtle cues. This not only strengthens the horse-human bond, but also brings a sense of peace and fulfillment to our interactions, whether we're spending time together in the pasture, grooming, or simply standing side by side in silence. Mindfulness isn't just a practice, it's a way of being. It's about showing up fully for yourself and for your horse every moment you're together. And when you do, something remarkable happens. You begin to experience a connection that goes beyond words, beyond actions, and into the heart of what it means to be truly present with another living being. Now that we have a clear understanding of mindfulness, let's explore how horses, in their natural state, are already masters of this practice, and how we can learn from them. Horses exist in the now, grounded in their environment and constantly attuned to the subtle changes around them. This is what makes them such mindful beings, and why they make such powerful companions for those of us seeking to cultivate mindfulness in our own lives. While horses are naturally mindful creatures, living largely in the present moment, it's important to recognize that they, like all sentient beings, do carry memories of past experiences, both positive and negative. Horses are incredibly sensitive and intelligent, and while they don't dwell on the past in the same way that humans do, they're certainly capable of remembering how they were treated. This is particularly true when it comes to experiences that were either painful or frightening, as well as those that made them feel safe and comfortable. For instance, a horse that was mistreated during a vet visit or frightened during training may become anxious or resistant when faced with similar situations in the future. This is not a sign that the horse is stuck in the past, but rather a reflection of their strong survival instincts. They remember what caused them harm and may react defensively to avoid being hurt again. On the flip side, horses also remember positive experiences. If they've been treated with kindness, patience, and respect, they're more likely to trust and seek out human interaction. They remember the people who made them feel safe and comfortable, and they're naturally drawn to those who offer them peace and security. This is why practicing mindfulness with horses is so important. By being fully present and aware of the horse's reactions, we can help them feel safe in the moment, even if they're carrying memories of past fear or pain. Through consistent, mindful interactions, we can help rebuild their trust, showing them that their present experience can be different from what they've known in the past. When you spend time with a horse, you'll notice that they're always sensing their surroundings. A shift in the wind, a change in your body language, or a slight noise in the distance. All of this is immediately registered by the horse. This acute awareness isn't just a survival mechanism. although it certainly evolved from that. But it's also a powerful reminder that being fully present is how horses experience the world. They're not bogged down by worry or regret. They respond to what is happening in the moment. Horses are often called mirrors because they reflect what we bring into their space. If we approach a horse feeling anxious, rushed, or distracted, they're going to pick up on that energy. They might become restless or uncooperative, not because they're being difficult, but because they're responding to the energy that we're projecting. On the other hand, when we approach a horse with calmness, patience, and mindfulness, they can sense that as well. They tend to relax, become more open, and are more likely to engage with us in a peaceful and trusting way. This is why mindfulness is so crucial in our relationships with horses. Horses are incredibly sensitive to our emotional and mental states, and they respond far more to how we are than to what we do. When we practice mindfulness around horses, we align ourselves with their natural way of being. We slow down, we become more aware of our own body language, and we start to notice the subtle cues that horses use to communicate. In doing so, we create an environment of mutual respect and trust, where both horse and human can feel safe and connected. One of the greatest gifts that horses offer us is the opportunity to practice mindfulness in a real and tangible way. Unlike many human activities that encourage multitasking or constant thinking, spending time with horses invites us to be fully present. Whether you're sitting quietly in a pasture, observing your horse graze, or simply standing by their side, these moments provide a powerful opportunity to practice mindfulness. Horses invite us to let go of our agendas and simply be with them, without expecting anything in return. In the world of autonomous horsemanship, this concept of being rather than doing is central. Autonomous horsemanship moves away from traditional training, riding, or performance-based goals. Instead, the focus is on building a relationship with the horse that honors their autonomy, their needs, and their natural way of being. This means that rather than approaching the horse with an agenda of teaching them something or asking them to perform a task, we approach them with the intention of simply sharing space and connecting in a mindful, present way. This approach allows the horse to feel truly seen and respected. When we're mindful, we're better able to notice the subtle ways that horses communicate with us through their body language, their movements, and their energy. Instead of imposing our will or expectations on the horse, we learn to listen and respond to what the horse is telling us in the moment. This creates a relationship built on trust and understanding, rather than control or dominance. Mindfulness also helps us to recognize when a horse may be communicating discomfort or stress. For example, if a horse is reluctant to engage or seems distant, a mindful approach allows us to pause and reflect on what might be causing that response. Is the horse in physical discomfort? Are they feeling anxious or unsure about their environment? By being fully present and aware, we can respond to these signals with empathy and care, rather than frustration or force. This way of being with horses not only benefits the horse, but also brings profound benefits to us as humans. When we practice mindfulness with horses, we're reminded to slow down, to let go of our need to control outcomes, and to simply experience the present moment. These are lessons that extend far beyond our time with horses. They teach us how to approach life with more patience, more awareness, and more compassion for ourselves, for others, and the world around us. In essence, horses invite us to step into the world of mindfulness. They remind us to be present, to listen, and to respect the natural flow of things. When we align ourselves with their way of being, we open the door to a deeper, more meaningful connection, not just with our horses, but with ourselves. Through mindfulness, we learn to see the world through the horse's eyes, a world that's rich with awareness, presence, and peace. And in doing so, we find a sense of inner calm and fulfillment that can transform not only our relationship with our horses, but also our experience with life itself. Now that we've explored what mindfulness is and how horses embody it naturally, let's dive into some practical ways you can bring mindfulness into your interactions with your horse. Remember, the goal is not to train or to achieve anything specific, but to deepen your connection through presence, awareness, and non-judgmental observation. There are many ways to practice mindfulness with horses, and each offers a unique opportunity to connect more deeply with them. We'll explore several approaches that you can incorporate into your daily life with your horse. These practices are simple but profound, and over time, they can transform your relationship with your horse into one of greater trust, peace, and mutual respect. First, mindful observation. One of the simplest and most effective ways to practice mindfulness with your horse is through mindful observation. This means spending time with your horse without any agenda or expectations, simply watching them and noticing their behavior, body language, and emotional state. When we observe without trying to control or change anything, we create space for deeper understanding. To practice mindful observation, find a quiet place where you and your horse can relax. This could be in the pasture, in the barn, or in any space where your horse feels comfortable. Sit or stand nearby, but don't interact directly with your horse, just yet. Instead, focus on being fully present in the moment. Notice the sounds around you, the wind, the birds, or the rustling of the leaves. Breathe deeply and slowly, allowing yourself to settle into a calm, peaceful state. Then turn your attention to the horse. Notice how they move, how they breathe, and how they interact with their surroundings. Pay attention to the smallest details, the way their ears twitch in response to sounds, the rhythm of their breathing, or the way their coat shines in the sunlight. Try to observe without judgment or interpretation. This isn't about analyzing your horse's behavior or trying to figure out what they're thinking. Instead, it's about simply being with them, fully present and aware. Mindful observation allows you to see your horse in a new light. You may begin to notice things you hadn't seen before, subtle cues in their body language that indicate how they're feeling, or small habits that reveal their personality. This practice not only deepens your understanding of your horse, but also strengthens the bond between you, because your horse will sense that you're truly present with them. Mindful presence during care. Another powerful way to practice mindfulness with your horse is through mindful presence during basic care activities. Whether you're grooming your horse, cleaning their hooves, or simply leading them from one place to another, these routine tasks offer a valuable opportunity to practice being fully present and connected. Let's take grooming as an example. Grooming is an activity that many of us do regularly, but often we rush through it without much thought, treating it as just another chore to get done. However, when approached mindfully, grooming can become a meditative practice that strengthens your connection with your horse. To practice mindful grooming, start by setting an intention to be fully present during the activity. Before you even begin, take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Let go of any distractions or thoughts about what you need to do next. Focus on the task at hand. If you're grooming to build the relationship, you need to do it without the horse being tied or restricted in any way. The horse must be free to choose whether to be groomed or to move away if she's not enjoying it. As you begin grooming, pay attention to every detail: the sensation of the brush in your hand, the texture of your horse's coat, and the sound of the brush moving through their hair. Notice how your horse responds to your touch. Do they lean into it, indicating they enjoy it? Or do they shift away, perhaps signaling that they're sensitive in a particular area or mistrustful? Be aware of these subtle cues and adjust your actions accordingly. If your horse seems uncomfortable or restless, pause and take a moment to observe what might be going on. Are they tense, tired, hungry? Simply acknowledging these feelings can help your horse feel seen and understood. Mindful presence during care activities like grooming not only can help you stay connected to your horse, but also fosters a sense of calm and relaxation for both of you. Your horse will appreciate the attention and care you're giving them, and you'll find that these moments of mindfulness can be incredibly grounding and peaceful. Mindful walking or being together. Another way to practice mindfulness with your horse is through mindful walking or simply sharing space together. This practice is about slowing down, letting go of any need to direct or control your horse, and simply enjoying the act of being in their presence. If your horse is comfortable walking with you, you can practice mindful walking by joining them on a quiet walk through the pasture or along a peaceful trail. The key here is to focus on the experience of walking together, rather than on getting from one place to another. Notice the rhythm of your own footsteps and how they sync with your horse's movements. Pay attention to the sensations of the ground beneath your feet and the feel of the lead rope in your hand if you're leading them with a rope. As you walk, try to match your breathing to the pace of the walk or the breath of the horse, creating a sense of harmony between you and your horse. Alternatively, you can practice mindfulness by simply standing or sitting near your horse, without any intention of leading them or asking them to do anything. This is especially powerful in the context of autonomous horsemanship, where the focus is on allowing the horse to express their autonomy and make their own choices. By simply being present with your horse, without asking anything of them, you create a space of trust and openness. Your horse may approach you out of curiosity, or they may simply enjoy the quiet companionship. Either way, this practice reinforces the idea that your presence is enough. You don't need to do anything to connect. Mindful touch and connection. Physical touch, when approached mindfully, can be a powerful way to connect with your horse. Horses are highly sensitive to touch, and when we approach them with calm, intentional touch, it can help them feel safe and understood. To practice mindful touch, start by slowing down and focusing on your breathing. Approach your horse gently, paying attention to their body language. Place your hands softly on their neck or shoulder or another area where they seem comfortable. As you touch your horse, focus on the sensations you feel, the warmth of their body, the texture of their coat, and the rise and fall of their breathing. Notice how your horse responds. Do they relax into your touch, or do they move away? Respect their boundaries and adjust your touch accordingly. If they're saying no, by honoring that no, you can build your relationship, you can build their trust. This practice isn't about exerting control or dominance over your horse. Instead, it's about creating a moment of connection and mutual respect. Just as you're being mindful of your horse's responses, they're also attuned to your energy and intention. By approaching touch in a mindful way, you're reinforcing the idea that your relationship with a horse is based on trust, not pressure. Mindful breathing exercises with your horse. Finally, one of the simplest but most powerful ways to practice mindfulness with horses is through mindful breathing. Horses are so sensitive to our breathing patterns, and by focusing on our own breath, we can help create a calming influence on the horse. To practice mindful breathing with your horse, find a quiet place where you can be together. Stand or sit near your horse, but don't try to engage them directly. Instead, focus on your own breath. Breathe deeply and slowly, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. As you breathe, try to let go of any tension in your body. Notice how your horse responds to your breathing. You can even try and mirror theirs, or they may mirror yours. We both might slow our breath as we relax together. This practice can be incredibly grounding for both you and your horse. It allows you to connect on a deeper level without the need for words or actions. Just by being present and breathing together, you can create a sense of calm and trust that strengthens your bond. Each of these practices, mindful observation, mindful presence during care, mindful walking or being together, mindful touch, and mindful breathing, offers a unique way to connect with your horse on a deeper, more meaningful level. The beauty of mindfulness is that it's not about doing more or achieving a specific outcome. It's about slowing down, letting go of expectations, and simply being fully present with your horse. Through these practices, you'll find that your relationship with your horse becomes richer, more peaceful, and more fulfilling. In the world of autonomous horsemanship, we're reminded that the most powerful connections are often the ones that arise from simply being together, without any pressure to perform or control. By practicing mindfulness with your horse, you're not only enhancing your bond with them, but also cultivating a sense of inner peace and presence that can extend into all areas of your life. Practicing mindfulness with horses brings profound benefits not only to the horse, but to the human. By letting go of the need to control, train, or expect something specific from the horse, we create a space where the connection is based on mutual respect and understanding. In this section, we'll explore the specific ways that mindfulness can positively impact both horse and human, creating a relationship that is deeper, more peaceful, and more harmonious. Benefits for the horse. As prey animals, horses are naturally attuned to their surroundings and emotional states of those around them. They're constantly reading the energy of their environment to determine whether they're safe. When we approach them with a calm, mindful presence, they can sense that we're grounded and non-threatening. This helps the horse feel safe and relaxed in our presence. By practicing mindfulness, we create a space where the horse can simply be without the pressure to perform or respond to commands. This freedom often results in the horse feeling more at ease, more willing to engage, and more open to connecting with us on their own terms. Horses, like humans, appreciate being in environments where they aren't constantly asked for something. Mindfulness respects their autonomy and allows them to express themselves naturally. Additionally, mindfulness helps us notice the horse's subtle cues, the flick of an ear, a shift in posture, or a quiet sigh. These small signals often communicate how the horse is feeling, and when we're present enough to notice them, we can respond in ways that support their well-being. For example, if a horse is signaling discomfort or anxiety, we can give them the space they need to feel safe again, rather than pushing them to engage. The benefits of mindfulness extend equally to the human in this relationship. In our fast-paced lives, we're often overwhelmed by stress, constant distraction, and the pressure to always be doing something. Practicing mindfulness with horses offers us a chance to slow down, quiet our minds, and simply be in the present moment. This can be incredibly healing and restorative. When we practice mindfulness with our horses, we learn to listen more deeply, not only to the horse, but also to ourselves. We become more aware of our own thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. This heightened self-awareness allows us to manage our own stress and emotions more effectively, leading to greater emotional balance and resilience. By focusing on the present moment, we can let go of worries about the past or the future, which helps reduce anxiety and promotes a sense of inner peace. Furthermore, the practice of mindfulness nurtures patience and empathy. As we become more attuned to the horse's needs and responses, we develop a greater sense of compassion, both for the horse and for ourselves. This compassionate presence strengthens the bond we share with our horse and enriches our relationships with others in our lives. Ultimately, mindfulness fosters a reciprocal relationship where both the horse and the human benefit. Horses feel safer, more understood and respected, while humans experience greater peace, emotional clarity, and connection. This mutual benefit creates a space of trust and harmony where both horse and human can grow together, free from the pressures of traditional expectations. In this way, mindfulness not only deepens the horse-human bond, but also enhances our overall well-being, helping us live more peacefully and mindfully in every aspect of our lives. While practicing mindfulness with horses offers profound benefits within the context of your relationship with your horse, the lessons learned extend far beyond the pasture. The practice of mindfulness, being fully present, aware, and non-judgmental, can transform how we approach our daily life, our relationships, and even how we handle stress and challenges. One of the most valuable lessons mindfulness with horses teaches us is the importance of slowing down. In a world that often demands speed, productivity, and constant activity, spending time with horses reminds us to embrace stillness and patience. This can be carried into our daily life by learning to pause, to breathe, and to focus on the present moment, rather than rushing from one task to the next. When we bring this sense of mindfulness into our everyday interactions, we find that we're more grounded, more focused, and more open to connecting with others on a deeper level. Mindfulness also fosters emotional awareness and resilience. Just as we learn to observe our horse's subtle cues, we begin to notice our own emotions and reactions more clearly. This self-awareness enables us to respond to situations with greater calm and clarity, rather than being swept away by stress or anxiety. Whether you're navigating a difficult conversation, managing a challenging work situation, or simply dealing with the pressures of daily life, the mindfulness we practice with a horse can help us stay centered and present. Ultimately, the mindfulness cultivated with horses teaches us how to be more compassionate, patient, and accepting, both with ourselves and with others. It's a practice that can enrich every area of our lives, promoting a sense of peace, connection, and fulfillment far beyond the pasture. As we come to the end of this journey into mindfulness and horses, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on everything that we've explored. We've talked about how horses, by their very nature, live in the present moment, and how practicing mindfulness alongside them can deepen the bond between horse and human. Instead of focusing on the traditional goals of training, performance, or control, we've seen how simply being with a horse, through mindful observation, touch, presence, and care, can create a relationship based on trust, respect, and understanding. For the horse, this mindful approach allows them to feel safe, seen, and valued as individuals. For the human, it brings a sense of peace, clarity, and emotional balance. Together, this creates a mutual benefit where both horse and human thrive in an environment free from pressure and expectation. But perhaps the most profound takeaway is that mindfulness, as practiced with horses, isn't confined to the stable. It's a way of living that can transform how we relate to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. By being present, patient, and compassionate, we become better equipped to navigate the challenges of everyday life with a sense of calm and purpose. So as you leave this today, I encourage you to reflect on this question. How might your relationship with a horse and your life change if you approached more moments with mindful presence? The answer lies in the quiet moments of connection, in the spaces where you let go of control and simply allow yourself to be. In those moments, you'll find a deeper bond with your horse and with yourself than you ever thought possible.